another good morning. Welcome to the Good Morning Show. I'm Eddie Francis, and hanging out with me, Ro Brown.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Brown. How are you?
Yeah, people, it's another guy, Eddie. Eddie's just like Will Sutton. He saw me walking on the overpass there, and Norman Francis felt sorry for me and let me come in because it was cold. So here I am.
Well, man,
Stuck with me again. Yeah.
You're a fellow wolf, so.
Go Wolf pack.
Oh, there are three of us. 3 black Loyolans in one
Go
space.
Wolf pack.
Oh, my goodness. So, wait, did you know that we're actually Loyolans? Did you know that?
I never used that word before, but come to think of it.
Nobody has ever used it.
Oh, you made it up.
No, I didn't make it up. No, I actually looked it up. And
you PR people.
I looked it up. Yeah, I know. That's what we do. I looked it up and I was
Loyal
wondering.
lips.
So my wife graduated from Hampton.
Okay.
And they're Hamptonians.
Okay.
Of course, Xavier, folks who go to
Xavierites.
Xavierites.
Mm-hmm.
Dillard.
What's it?
Dillardites, actually.
Dillardite?
Dillardites, yeah.
Ite. Okay.
Yeah, believe it or not. So I actually heard
Tulanians.
Tulanians. I actually heard Dr. Ruth Simmons, who an alumna of Dillard. I actually heard her say that in
Brown
a
University?
speech. Yeah, I heard her say that in a speech about what it was like to be a Dillardite. So there you go. So you're welcome, Dillard.
Loyal.
And so I looked it up for us, and we're Loyolans.
Loyolans.
How about that, huh?
All right.
What do you get when you get 3 black Loyolans in one space? A fundraising appeal call.
We need money.
And you know what? And so the universities are so slick now. The universities are so slick. By the way, welcome to the Good Morning Show. Eddie Francis and with Ro Brown. The universities are so slick. Now, if you have a college degree, you have been through this, where they have the sweetest little thing call you to get your money. Hi, my name is Keisha, and I'm a psychology major. I'm a psychology, and I was just wondering if maybe you would like to invest in your alma mater.
No, I got to admit, Eddie, I have not gotten one of those from Loyola.
You have not gotten?
No,
I got one.
But
I got one.
Maybe it's because I know the fundraising people.
Oh, you know what? They were slick though.
I know them. I actually know them.
Yeah.
And they know me. So, and they know that I give them a little money anyway. So maybe they don't fool with me.
Good for you, man.
And I get, and I buy season tickets to basketball and all that stuff,
Oh,
so,
well, that helps.
So maybe
that does,
and they know that. Okay.
That does help though.
Yeah.
It really does. But it was so funny because they found the right one, right? So they
got you.
They found the right one.
They got you.
And I answer the phone, and this sweet little voice is on the phone. Hi, my name is so and so. I'm a biology major. I'm a member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. And I was just wondering, Mr. Francis, you have such a great reputation. Would you mind making a donation to Loyola? And I was like, oh, they are so slick. All right, $50 on the
way. But I've given money to Dillard.
Yes,
I've given money to Xavier.
Mm-hmm.
I give money to, it's not a lot of money. I don't have a lot of money. So,
Listen.
But I give, I give money to St. Aug.
Oh, thank you. We appreciate that.
Yeah, it's,
Oh, thank you so much.
About once a year, whatever, you send places, $100 or whatever.
So in terms of, I'm about to philanthropy nerd out a little bit.
Okay.
So in terms of philanthropy, it sounds like your philanthropic identity is tied to education. It sounds like that's something you care about.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the easy answer.
That's
yes.
a very cool
yeah,
thing. That's cool.
Yeah, I've always given
Yeah.
money to things like that, things that have to do with education.
That's cool. I mean, I think that's important. Whenever people decide that they, on a serious note, whenever people decide they want to donate, I do think it's important for people to decide what you care the most about.
Yeah.
So my wife did her dissertation on this, and so
On
she actually did her dissertation on HBCU fundraising capacity, but part of it was some pretty deep research into the history and the patterns of philanthropic giving.
Right.
And what that looks like. And so that was one of the things that I've learned from her, was, identify what it is you care the most about and then make a donation. And if you can't make a cash donation, then give in some way. Donate your time, or as they say, time, talent, treasure.
Right.
Donate your time, your talent, whatever you can. And people appreciate it. They certainly do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I get things in the mail from Xavier,
Yeah.
because of the money that, whatever I donated to him.
If you send somebody $50, you're going to get something in the mail. They're going to follow up all right.
I purchased the Centennial book.
Oh, yeah.
The Centennial. So, I'm sure
helps.
that has
That helps.
Yeah, stuff like that.
All right.
All right. And speaking of Xavier, shout out to our Loyola. Shout out to President Cole.
Man.
I don't know if you know him. He's a pretty cool dude.
I have not gotten a chance to meet President Cole yet. Yeah.
He's a pretty cool dude. I was proud of Loyola. I was proud of my alma mater.
Yeah.
Because in the midst of all the DEI stuff of this administration, and in the midst of taking down Black history exhibits and everything that they're doing, the same week that there was one of the big stories where they took down something, Loyola put up a thing on their campus honoring the first Black students at Loyola in the area of the campus where they used to hang out.
I did not see that.
They put there's a plaque there. There's a plaque.
Oh, I got to go check that out.
Circle right behind the communications building. You see it where they got that circle with the nice palm trees. No, it's right there. Yeah,
Wolfpack.
Give them a bell. Give them a bell. Yeah. They did it. Wow.
Well, so if you talk about what
I don't know if they planned it that way, but that's what it turned out that way.
I'm all for it. I'm all for it. But it's pretty interesting because the students at Loyola, they turned away the Turning Point chapter, Turning Point USA chapter. That is not over because Turning Point isn't giving up.
Yeah, and they should. They ought to be that. Okay?
Right.
I don't care. Yeah.
Interestingly, there's a bit of an issue with Tulane because the Turning Point chapter was approved. However, a lot of students that come out and said, well, they didn't go through the proper channels to do it. And so the students and the administration are having a discussion right now about that. But what I really appreciated about what the students at Loyola did was that they actually did it based on logic. And they did it based on values. They didn't just say, we don't like them, they can't come.
Right.
They said, the values aren't consistent.
Right.
And this is not something that we're crazy about. And I thought that was admirable. And, so I hope whatever is happening and however it turns out, I hope that the students are able to maintain their voice and I hope they're able to maintain harmony on campus. I will say the Loyola I attended in the late 80s, early 90s, this is a very different Loyola. Like the profile of the university is pretty different.
In what way?
It's the students are more lively. I think they are a bit more engaged than we were when I was there.
Okay.
I actually wore a Loyola hoodie somewhere one day, and there was someone who was a recent graduate. I think this young lady told me she graduated in 21 or 22. And she said, "Oh, Loyola, go Wolfpack." And nobody had ever done that. Nobody had ever done that. I mean, it is like people would look at me and they'll just kind of stare.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? Anyway, we do have a few things to talk about. This is not going to be the Loyola radio show. We have a few things that we're going to talk about. At 8 o'clock, we're going to have, or I should say 8:30, we're going to have New Orleans City Council person Leslie Harris, District B. She's going to come in. And, Ro, who is actually calling the house? Who's calling the shots at the White House?
Well, that's easy.
Is it though? We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that in just a couple of minutes. I'm Eddie Francis in for Will Sutton. Ro Brown is with me on the Good Morning Show on WBOK, what New Orleans is talking about.
This is your news update for WBOK from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
Good Wednesday morning. I'm Daryl Forges with WDSU News, and here's your headlines. After months of uncertainty, Mayor Helena Moreno says retention bonuses overdue to NOPD officers will go out on January 30th. They're expected to be authorized by the City Council during today's special meeting. The bonuses range from $1,000 to $30,000 depending on services details and are said to cost the city $11 million overall. They were promised to hundreds of officers back in 2022 under Mayor LaToya Cantrell's administration. Drivers in Mid-City are calling on city leaders to take action. They say a pothole located on Carrollton Avenue is causing problems and costing them money. Drivers say they have to consistently navigate around a dangerous pothole, and if they don't, their car either bounces from the big dip or the driver quickly swerves, causing chaos in the other lane. And in addition to their safety, neighbors are also concerned about the potential burden on their wallet. Officers and officials tell us Sewerage and Water Board are responsible for this project, and the water company says they intend to fill the hole by today and permanently pave it by the end of next week. And the Crew of Endymion, important note right here, is canceling its open house that was set for Saturday. But the parade and extravaganza is still scheduled to roll on Valentine's Day, Saturday, February 14th. I'm Daryl Forges, and that's your headlines for WBOK. And have a fantastic and wonderful day. Stay warm out there.
Norman Robinson is back.
Can you hear me now?
And he's taking no prisoners.
Can you hear me now?
Each weekday, Norman Robinson brings you commentary with Off the Top.
The incident was shocking, disturbing, disgusting, disappointing, and sad.
Each weekday, Off the Top with Norman Robinson is heard exclusively right here.
It's Off the Top with Norman Robinson on WBOK 1230 AM.
Good morning, wake up.
The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
And welcome back to the Good Morning Show. Eddie Francis in for Willis Sutton, and Ro Brown is hanging out as well.
Good morning.
Good morning. You know, I'm actually kind of proud of myself right now because I haven't had my coffee, and I'm okay. I'm okay. I was a little worried, man. I was just like, I haven't had my coffee. So if I don't do anything else, if I don't eat anything else during the day, I eat breakfast, I have my coffee. I have not had my coffee. I didn't have breakfast, and I'm doing fine.
So that means that over the next, hour and 45 minutes, I better be on the lookout.
Nah, I mean, if you're seeing things strange, just, if you're seeing things strange, let me know. Just let me know. So I was, there's someone who I have been following on social media, and people may find this a bit strange. But I have been following Anthony Scaramucci on social media. Mm-hmm. He is as we all know, he is the former White House communications director under the first Trump administration.
Right.
And one of the
for a little while.
Say again?
For a little while.
For a little while, yeah. I mean, yeah. So he talks about that. He talks about the fact that he talks about that short time. Mm-hmm. And it's really funny to hear him talk about it because he's just like, he's like, well, I thought it was going to be this, I thought it was going to be that, and it turned out to be this, and then I had to go. So he was just like, I had to go, I had to get out of there. And for a lot of us who understand, it's pretty clear who Donald Trump is. I don't think it could be any clearer who he is. Yeah. So I'm sitting there asking the same question a lot of people are asking, which is, what did you think was going to happen, right? And so, as it turns out, Scaramucci is doing all of this social media where he's talking about, what's actually happening behind the scenes as he sees it. Right. Well, I ran across this social media post yesterday, and this was very, very interesting. Where he was on a podcast, the Pivot podcast, and he was talking to Kara Swisher. And he decided to talk about who is really running the show in D.C. Jared, could you play that, please?
Trump's electoral success in 2024. Nobody else bought those call options. And then Miller said, this is fantastic. I'm an evil guy. I hate people and I want to inflict pain on people. And Trump is my empty vessel to get back into the White House.
You have spent time with him, so give us one insight. Besides that he looks like a cartoon Nazi villain.
Miller is running the administration. He's running domestic policy. He's running international policy. Stephen Miller's talking to ICE. Stephen Miller's on the phone with Marco Rubio. The point is, this MF, he couldn't get dog catcher confirmation, this MF, okay? And he's sitting there. We had a 250-year experiment with a republic with real checks and balances. And this guy, because he was hated in high school, and he still wants to take it out on the rest of us, is going to run roughshod over all of us. Because you have willing accomplices, Kara. And those willing accomplices are the Republicans, and the secondary willing accomplices are the private sector, smarty pants billionaires that are afraid of Stephen Miller. How could you guys be afraid of Stephen Miller? Are you guys serious? You that big of a nerd group in the high school cafeteria to be afraid of Stephen Miller? What are you guys doing? Take on Stephen Miller.
So when I ran across that, I mean, first of all, there are no surprises there. But the thing that that really struck me is everybody has been looking at how unhinged ICE is. And people are going, oh, there's Trump. And I'm sitting there going, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. This is different. And the way ICE is performing, it just looks like acts of pure hatred, right?
Yeah.
And so when I ran across that clip yesterday, I thought to myself, this makes complete sense. It makes complete sense because what happens is that whoever's calling the shots, the culture of that organization is going to take on the personality of who's calling the shots.
Right.
Because of the way that person communicates with them. It's not about the directives. It is about the style of communication. It is about, to me, it is about the attitude behind every directive that's given. And so that clip really kind of brought it home for me about what's really happening. But off air, you said something that I thought was very interesting about why it couldn't have been Trump who's actually calling the shots.
It's not what he does. It's not what he wants to do.
Explain.
It's a job that takes, things like,
thoughtfulness.
Yeah. I mean, Joe Biden and Barack Obama and, George W. Bush. I mean, those people stayed up at night reading and getting things from their people to, so that they would be able to know what's going on around the world.
Yeah.
And that, and help them deal with things around the world. He's on Truth Social.
Yeah.
Calling people, names, and that sort of thing. Okay. And, that's who he is. I mean, the first step for me was the first time he met with world leaders.
Yeah.
The first time, that's what cemented it for me. The first time he met with world leaders. There's a reason why when he would do things and go to NATO and you see him, and he'd leave early.
Right.
He'd always leave early because he was bored. Okay?
Yeah.
He was bored, and also I think, he felt inadequate around a lot of these people.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I've always said, my wife said I shouldn't say this, but, and I've said this publicly, what did Canada do to anybody? I mean, think about
seriously,
it. What did Canada do to anybody?
Yeah, exactly.
In my opinion, the problem with Canada was that big, tall, handsome, smart Trudeau. That was the problem with Canada.
Single time. I mean,
that was the problem with him with Canada. He felt inadequate around that man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And his wife thought he was fine.
I mean,
and you could tell, and she probably told him that. What that's all it could have been, because he hated. I mean, he just talked.
Yeah.
Around that guy. And these are. I mean, these world leaders, I mean, they're people who, they're serious about what they're doing.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, it's serious stuff. To him, it's not. It's how can I make money?
They realize they have responsibilities.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Now, come here, and with Scaramucci said, he's absolutely correct. I mean, the 2025 people, Project 2025 people and Stephen Miller are the people who are making the decisions.
Mm-hmm.
The deal is we'll make the decisions. We'll let you make as much money as you can being president, which you're not supposed to do, but we're going to let you do that. And we'll let you feel like king. We'll let you be able to take, put your name in front of the Kennedy name at the Kennedy Center. We'll let you, demolish part of the White House.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's following through on the stuff with DEI and all that. Okay, that's that's one of the things they want him to do, and he has no problem doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Getting rid of Black history, no problem doing that. Oh yeah, I can have that's easy. I can do that.
Mm-hmm.
And he's doing that, but most of the other things, I mean, he doesn't know anything about world history. Never cared about anything like that. He cares about making money for Donald Trump and how everything affects Donald Trump.
It's because the thing is, and it was really, there was another one of Scaramucci's posts that I thought was really funny. And Scaramucci is like, he's not a well-read guy.
No,
he's not a highly educated person.
No, he's not.
However, here is the thing, though. Here's the thing about Trump that is dangerous is that he's also not stupid.
No, he's not.
Because the thing is that he does this goofy stuff. He does whatever he does. The thing is, he is highly intuitive. And that is one of the markers of narcissism, right? Like someone can be as ignorant as they want to be, but if they know, but narcissists are very good at reading people.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he is a great negotiator now. Yeah. That's something a lot of people don't give him credit for.
Well, yeah, that's when he talks about the deal, making deal.
The art
but
of
everything
the deal.
Can't be a deal.
But it is to him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Everything
exactly.
is to him.
Everything to him is a deal.
But that's how he got to the White House.
And a lot of the deals don't exist.
So let me ask you
It's like this Greenland deal. Yeah. I haven't heard Greenland say anything about a deal.
But the thing is, but as far as Greenland is, he doesn't have control of that. He can't control that situation. That's what drives him nuts.
But he can act like he controls it, and that's what that is. When we made an agreement. What the agreement is the agreement that the United States has had with them all this time.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Okay, that's the agreement. Okay, and with the latest terrible things in Minnesota and all that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is what I think. Tom Homan, the guy he's sending now, taking over from the little Barney Fife guy.
Oh yeah.
They took him out and sent Homan. I think what's happened there is that. You see, Holman is a policeman, hard-ass policeman. He is, okay. But I think that in discussions, Tom Holman looked at that tape and said, no, they did that wrong.
Yeah.
They did, I mean, even him, no, I'm all for this, but they did that wrong.
Listen,
okay. And he can't say that publicly.
But it's about to be litigation city.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to get really crazy. Really crazy. So we're going to talk a little bit more. And we got some really cool comments coming in. Well, at least we got some. We do have a couple of cool comments on Facebook right now.
Uh-oh.
Eddie Francis with Ro Brown on the Good Morning Show on WBOK. What New Orleans is talking about?
This is your news update for WBOK from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
still another cold day for us, but it's slightly warmer than where we have been. Highs today will reach 52 to 54 degrees, mostly sunny skies. And then for tonight, dropping down to 26 to 36 degrees, another round of potential frost for folks. And then as we get to Thursday, 58 to 60 degrees. So that warm up continues, but only for a little while. As we get to the weekend, highs for Saturday possibly only into the 30s.
I'm David Patan Sr., owner of Whole Water and Food Over Medicine Academy, coach, consultant, and instructor. We're excited about our 21-day challenge. Stop, prevent, and reverse disease today. Cholesterol, diabetes type 2, high blood pressure, along with chronic illnesses and diseases. We believe that the gift of wellness is the greatest gift, and for $30 per month, $1 a day, you could have this gift for you and your family.
I'm Phyllis Washington, and I've benefited with health and weight loss.
For your gift of $30, healing and wellness can be yours. Call 504-701-4711. That's 504-701-4711. The Whole Water Store. See you at 2135 Washington Avenue today.
Tired of the impersonal, one-size-fit-all style of banking? You deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank Standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for businesses and families because we go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business, good for life. Stop by any New Orleans area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
Meet Leanna, a part-time chef and full-time mom. In the past, Leanna didn't have health insurance because she didn't think she could afford it. What she didn't realize is she qualified for Medicaid. She loves the coverage and peace of mind that comes with high-quality care. The kind of care you get with Healthy Blue. This is Medicaid, and it's for more people than you think. Maybe even you. To see if you qualify, go to myhealthybluela.com. What if just $50 could open the door to your new home? Godan's is inviting you to enter their Key to Your Heart house raffle, where one ticket gives you a chance to win a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home in the city of New Orleans. The drawing will happen on Valentine's Day, February 14th. Tickets must be purchased by February 12th at 11:59 p.m. Enter now at RAYZE.it/Key to Your Heart.
In New Orleans, experience isn't a slogan. It's the difference between promises and results. John Johnson has already delivered for this city. As a state senator and chairman of the Revenue and Fiscal Affairs Committee, John Johnson authored a $215 million legislative package that rebuilt the Superdome, constructed the Saints training facility, and built the New Orleans Arena. Projects that fueled jobs and economic growth. He secured $135 million to complete the Morial Convention Center, $10 million to make Jazzland and Six Flags a reality, $6 million to expand Suno, and $30 million to build the Technology and Research Park at UNO. That's not talk, that's results. John Johnson also brought more than $185 million in district improvements, strengthened higher education, and authored a constitutional amendment approved by voters to help limit state debt.
I've never believed in promising what I can't deliver. I believe in doing the work and getting results for New Orleans and St. Bernard Parish.
With seniority, experience, and a proven record, John Johnson is ready to return to the state Senate, not as a freshman, but as a leader. John Johnson for state Senate.
Paid for by John Johnson for Senate.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
And welcome back to the Good Morning Show. Eddie Francis and Will Sutton. Ro Brown hanging out as well. Thank you so much. If you have chosen to start your morning with us here at WBOK. And good morning to the folks on Facebook. Good morning, Keith Wilson. What's going on, Purple? What's up, Purple? What's up, Purple? Melmont, thank you so much. Professor Martinez, who gave us a Go LU. Thank you so much. Josh, thank you so much for hanging out. Josh said, coffee is manna from heaven. Yes, Lord. It sure is. Fern Ware, good morning. Thank you for hanging out. Monty Slinger is in as well. Picking fights with people he doesn't like. We're talking about Trump on that one. Joshua said, Canada is the kid that passed out candy to classmates in elementary. our friendship bracelets. Adrian Long. Hey, Adrian Long, how are you? Yes, it is great to be back on the radio. She said, hey, Eddie, great to hear you back on the radio. Jacqueline Wilmore, thank you so much for hanging out. Brian Turner, my frat brother, how's it going? Brian comes with a disagreement. He
Number
says,
88.
He says,
I think that was his number.
He says, Trump is not a narcissist. He is a white man in America who has literally been placed above the law. He is behaving like a petulant teen, throwing a fit to take the car out after curfew. I would say that's a narcissist, Brian. So, Brian, let me tell. So, I know Brian has a doctorate, and
But
Brian
he's
is
getting
serious.
the car.
Yeah,
But he has the car.
But he found out how to get the car. So, Brian, I will say this for reference. I actually, the reason I even say I'm not one of these people who pulls narcissists out of my butt because I don't like somebody, or because they're a jerk. I'm actually saying that because I am basing that on the narcissism spectrum model that I researched for my master's. And he fits the markers. According to this model, you're talking about someone who is highly invested in self-interest. Self-interest is the center point of it. But then there's this sense of grandiosity, which is just driven by hubris. And then on top of that, there is this sense of vulnerability that is driven by emotional volatility. And that's where I'm getting that from. And to me, that's him. And I just think that's him to the T. And on top of that, I think he's a malignant narcissist because for him, everybody who disagrees with him must pay.
Yeah.
Especially if you oppose him in some way. Like this whole thing with ICE, I think he is fine with it because he can't stand Walz. He can't stand the governor of
that's a big part of it. It's I said, it's always me.
Yeah.
How I feel about it.
And he actually said on a campaign trail that he is going to make his political enemies pay. He said that.
Yeah.
That he's going to go after him. Now, I will say this, and this was something that I found out in research when I was doing my lit review. I ran across literature that talked about the fact that, on another note, that narcissism is actually an epidemic. Some scholars and practitioners are arguing. And so I don't disagree with it. I think that's why we see so much of it. I don't think social media makes it any better. I think social media makes it way worse.
Like,
when
you see people like you and Brian, you guys are smart. I'm just a sports guy. All I know is if you're going to form something called a peace board, okay?
Yeah.
And require that all the countries who join pay $2 billion. And when you talk about the peace board, when you explain it to people, you talk about how beautiful the Gaza Strip is. Okay? How it, the area, how beautiful it is. You need to stop wars there, how beautiful it is. He's seeing a resort.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And that $2 billion is going toward him and his son-in-law to do a resort when the time comes.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
That's nothing to do with peace. Okay.
No.
That's what he sees.
Everything is
he
about,
sees a resort.
Everything is about something else. And one of the things,
casinos.
And one of the things, and I will say this, one of the things that he is, Trump is a master at doing. He is a master at media manipulation. He's a master of it. I actually I actually have a friend who was like doom scrolling and sending me stuff every day. Look at this, look at this, look at this. Yeah. And at one point I said, that's what he wants you to do. Mm-hmm. He wants you to doom scroll. So he is feeding media as much as possible. Yeah. And so yeah. All right. So there we go. Oh, so Brian. All right. So I knew Brian was going to come back with something. So Brian said, "Frat, trust me, I'm a clinician, not just a professor. I diagnose and treat. Trump is the epitome of white make manifest. White
manifest destiny. Yeah. Yeah,
I
think you both are right. Yeah,
I was about to say, I think we're both right. I think we're both right.
I think he's all of those things.
Yeah. All right, so we have Josh has been on the line. He has been waiting. Good morning, Josh. How are you?
Good morning, fellas. How y'all doing?
Doing good.
Morning.
Man, Trump is to me is a visual look at how the Corleone family would be ran if Fredo was in charge.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
to me, the dumb brother got to be the leader of the family, and that's him to me. He's wielding power, all foolishly and only for personal gain. He's causing chaos. He's not ahead of nothing on no fronts. The world is running laps around this cat. So,
and I think, Josh, most of the world lead. I think you're right about it. Most of the world leaders, they've kind of figured out, how to kind of navigate him at least a little bit.
Oh yeah.
And
just
and some of
a little
them,
bit.
some of them know, and of course nobody knew it better, I guess, than Putin. Tell him he's the greatest person in the world. Give him compliments.
That's all it
and
takes.
Give him compliments and give him, $500 million jets and and hey.
Yeah. He needs.
They know that. Okay, now
Yeah, he needs.
I don't know what is about the state of well, I could say Michigan and Minnesota, but that Republicans want war with them folks. I don't know what it is about those people, from trying to kidnap the governor, to making Minnesota city itself as like ground zero for protesting.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, I think you're right. I mean, I do think some of it's, just personal. I mean, I just think he just doesn't like Tim Walz.
Yeah.
Okay. I think, there's something during the campaign that Tim Walz said that really, that made people laugh at him or something like that.
I don't think it's just the fact that he went against him, period.
Well, no, a lot of people go against him, but, a lot of people go against him, but, now he said something that really stung. He must have said things that were true and stung.
Everything you say about that man is true.
So
everything everyone says about that man is true.
Yeah, and thanks a lot, Josh. Appreciate you calling in. Always good to hear from you, my brother. Be good. It's I actually wrote this piece once where I was actually curious about intersections of something, and I wrote this piece where I wrote about the intersections of racism, narcissism, and bullying. And there are some tremendous similarities in all three realms. And when you talk about Trump and people like him, and you won't believe this, but I actually worked for somebody who acted exactly like Trump. I actually worked for somebody like that. And so the thing that to me, is the thing to me that is really appalling is that people didn't see him coming, even though he told them he was coming. Like, he told you exactly who he was, right? He told you exactly what he was going to do. But then he gets in and does all the stuff, and people are going, I can't believe it. Like him selecting all these highly unqualified people, or he and Stephen Miller selecting all these highly unqualified people to take these posts, these cabinet posts and everything. That is typical behavior of that kind of person, because he can't have somebody who is an expert in their area, because that means that he can't be the expert.
Right.
Because he wants to be the expert of everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in my case, I was over communications. This person I was working under wanted to tell me how communications was run, and I disagreed. I had the unmitigated gall to disagree one day with something and say, well, I do this every day, so this is what I think. And then that was it for me. I had to go.
Yeah.
So that was and I wasn't a jerk about it. I didn't say, oh, you stupid, whatever. No, I was just like, well, no, I think we should try this.
Yeah.
And it was like, no, okay, no, you got to go. And next thing I know, I'm gone, and so that I see the similarities. We need to get back to some of these comments on Facebook, because these are some good comments that we got going.
And the other thing, don't underestimate, and also within this, the racial part of it. And as far as Minnesota is concerned,
yeah,
Somalia is an easy country to go after, he figures.
Yeah, yes.
It's one of those blank hole countries, as he called it.
Yeah,
and so that's the thing. And so now you get,
There's a
Congresswoman Omar getting attacked last night by this guy or whatever. You know.
There's a lot of all of the above.
Yeah,
in this.
exactly.
There's a lot of all the above. Monty Slinger said he hates Barack Obama. Absolutely,
he
Trump
does.
Say he cannot stand Barack Obama.
A lot of white people hate Barack Obama.
Yeah, I know exactly. But for Trump, Barack Obama represents everything that he absolutely despises about the country.
Exactly.
Everything.
Exactly.
Because black people are not supposed to.
Yeah.
And Barack Obama did.
Did.
Not only that.
Yeah. But did it twice.
And I always say this. I always say if I could tell Barack Obama one thing, I would say you really shouldn't have roasted him so hard at that press club.
I watched that night. I watched that night, Eddie.
I did too.
I turned to my wife and I said, he is calling him all kind of N-words.
It was all over his face.
He just sat there. Yeah.
It was all over his face.
I know. And I mean, he had to sit there and take it in front of everybody.
And I
said.
So when Trump ran, I said, this is all about the National Press Club event.
That's right.
This is all about, that's what
right.
this is all about. So I think that was a big thing. Monty Slinger brought up business opportunity. Yes, everything is a business opportunity.
Yeah.
And so there we go.
For me.
Yeah. Oh,
business opportunity for me.
Oh, yeah. Not
if
for
you thought that Donald Trump wasn't as rich as he said he was before he was president, in 3 years when he leaves, he's going to be rich.
Yeah. He's going to be
really rich.
He is going to be filthy rich. Filthy rich. So I ran across something. So speaking of leadership, and I would love to get your take on this, but I ran across something on Forbes, and this kind of almost falls on where we are, where it says quiet leadership is a top-rated skill of 2026. This is actually a workplace skill of 2026. Quiet leadership. Quiet leadership is a top-rated skill. And what it says in this article is that quiet leadership prioritizes influence and thoughtful decision-making over showmanship. Far from passive, quiet leaders actively discern when they speak, ensuring their words carry significant weight and impact through strategic restraint. Backed by research, this approach fosters psychological safety and can lead to high productivity by prioritizing substance and emotional intelligence. I completely agree. And I'll tell you why. In the research that I did do, one of the things that came up is that we have a big problem contextualizing what quality leadership looks like, because we always think that the best leader is the loudest person in the room. We always look for the showman.
Yeah.
The showman, the thing is that the showman is a showman. So if you look at it, I said this a few weeks ago, if you look at it as a classroom with kids, the kid in the front who waves their hand furiously and knows all the answers to everything, that's the leader. John is the leader. But then there's the kid, Rebecca sitting in the back, who's quiet and knows all the answers too. But nobody ever asked Rebecca any questions because she's quiet. But she knows a whole heck of a lot more than John. It's just that John makes himself known all the time.
Right. Yeah.
And I think that we get distracted, especially when it comes to election season. We take a look at candidates, and the candidate that makes the most noise is the one that we say, I need to go vote for him because that person is.
He's good.
Yeah.
He know
what they all about. See, I know what they are. That other one, I don't know what they about. Because they don't say much.
Yeah.
I mean, I will die on this hill that is why we have what we have in the governor's office right now. Landry made noise. Wilson didn't make noise. And people tapped out because they thought that Wilson just wasn't forceful enough. He wasn't entertaining enough.
Yeah. Well, and I've always said this about, Barack Obama, there's a segment of the black community that said that he wasn't strong enough. And I think that's what they mean. But, I've always looked at it as that was one of the reasons why they didn't like him I mean, white people who didn't like him because they felt uncomfortable around him.
Oh, absolutely.
Because he never got mad.
He never got mad. He never got.
They wanted him to,
He didn't get black
to
buck mad.
freak out. Okay, and that's why some people think he's an antichrist or something. That he didn't. That there's something wrong with him. That he's some sort of alien or whatever. I mean, really, I've talked to white people who really think that he was.
I know. And he is. So I'm going to tease this because I'm doing a media literacy series on my weekly show, The Way Forward. I actually spoke to someone yesterday, and I think the interview is going to happen. But I spoke to someone yesterday who talks about how media manipulates black images. I think Barack Obama is a victim of that because Barack Obama comes out and he speaks the way he speaks. He presents the way he presents.
Right.
And everybody's going, well, he's not black enough.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not black. I don't think he's really black. He's not really black because one of his parents is white. Everybody starts bending the logic all kinds of ways.
Where is other children? No baby mamas. And it's.
I have heard that. He's like, oh, he got a baby mama somewhere.
Somewhere, yeah.
Oh, he's hiding her. Michelle ain't the only one.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe he does. Maybe he does not.
Yeah.
Maybe he does not. In some
not all black men have.
In some crazy bizarro universe, there's a black man who has had children with one woman. This has happened somewhere. I've been called a lie many times. It's like, oh, yeah, that ain't all you got. I'm like, how do you know? Everybody knows me better than I know myself. Right? I mean, and so I think this is what we fall for the banana in the tailpipe every time. We fall for it every time. Every election. Everybody's looking for the exciting candidate or the candidate who has the most commercials, and you're sitting there going, well, this person just has more commercials. That doesn't mean they're a better candidate. Yeah, but that's who I know. Yeah. Do you really know him? You don't really know him. Yeah. You saw their commercials. You know nothing about this person. And so when we talk about quiet leadership, I think that this is an invitation for us to really dig deeper and to ask more questions of the people who want to be our leaders. Now, we'd love to know what you think about this, by the way. 504-582-9422, 504-582-9422. You can, of course, hang out with us also on Facebook. You can drop your comments there. You can also deliver some comments on you can also deliver some comments on YouTube. Let's see. Oh, okay. We have Alvin Shepard on YouTube who said, Ro Brown, he is not leaving in 3 years. The man is already planning in the background to maintain his power. Oh, yeah.
Well, but he may still have that power and not have to deal with being president.
Yeah.
I mean, he's also trying to do that. Okay. Or his slice of the power. Put it that way.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. He's got to have a big slice. James, we see you waiting on the line. We're going to go to commercial break really quickly and come back to you. This is the Good Morning Show. Eddie Francis and for Will Sutton. Bro Brown is hanging out. Jared, the producer, the super producer, he's back. Good to see you again, Jared. My man. It is the Good Morning Show on WBOK, what New Orleans is talking about.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat, brought to you by FidelityWealthManagement.com. All-time tennis great Serena Williams is channeling her competitive spirit into investing. But this is nothing new for Williams. Williams tells Bloomberg that being a part of business and finance was something she's carried with her through her playing days on the tennis court.
It wasn't for me just about going out there and hitting tennis balls and winning. Obviously, that was the biggest part of it, but it was also really about being a business, being an entrepreneur. And at the time, when I was doing all this, there was lots of things and lots of people saying that you have to focus only on tennis, that you can't do other things, you can't have this other stuff, you can't be an entrepreneur, you can't think about other businesses, you really just have to do tennis. And I pushed that envelope and I said, you know what, that's not me.
Serena Williams speaking to Bloomberg at the American Business Forum in Miami recently. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
Hey, listen, are you a 50-year-old person looking for term life insurance? Then you need to talk to Bob. Bob specializes in helping people find $1 million or more of term life insurance for a couple of $100 a month. Look, you need to know there's a price war in the term life insurance business, and you may be paying too much. Call Bob, and he'll shop and see how much money he can save you. Look, this could be the last term life insurance policy you ever have. Your rates are guaranteed for the next 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rates for the next 20 years. And if you're a smoker or your health is not perfect, Bob has great rates for you too. So for $1 million of term life insurance coverage for a couple of $100 a month, call Bob right now. 800-890-5075. 800-890-5075. 800-890-5075. That's 800-890-5075. Paid for by Term Direct.
This is Monica Pierre along with Sally Ann Roberts Daybone, co-host of Your Power is On.
Tune in Sunday mornings from 7 to 8 a.m. for music that feeds the spirit. Get your Sunday on.
Right here on WBOK 1230 a.m. and WBOK1230.com, the station you listen to all day long.
This is The Law in Your Legacy. I'm attorney Pete Hamilton.
I'm attorney Ryan Hamilton.
If you had $1 million, would you leave it to an 18-year-old?
Hopefully not, but that's exactly what can happen with a simple will. The money goes straight to your kids when they hit the legal age, no guardrails.
A trust lets you control when and how they receive their inheritance. You can set ages, milestones, or even make sure they finish school first.
Give them security, not a spending spree.
This is not legal advice. That's just a tip brought to you by Liberty Bank and Trust. For more information, go to libertybank.net or contact us at 504-915-5016.
Transform your bathroom with the beautiful quality of Bath Planet. As a trusted leader in bathroom renovation, Bath Planet has earned the Good Housekeeping seal, a symbol of quality and consumer confidence for over 100 years. Get half off installation or 18 months with no interest and no payments. Whether it's tub replacement, a shower replacement, or a tub-to-shower conversion, Bath Planet makes your custom bath fast, easy, and affordable. Here's how it works. 1. Call to schedule your free, no-obligation consultation. 2. Our design experts come to you with real samples to customize your dream bath. 3. Our certified installers complete the transformation in as little as 1 day. And right now, for a limited time, you can upgrade your bathroom for 50% off installation or choose 18 months with no interest and no payments. But you need to call now. This special offer is only available by calling 800-981-8177. That's 800-981-8177. Call 800-981-8177 right now before the offer ends.
The Historic New Orleans Collection presents a new exhibition open through June 7th, 2026. The Trail They Blazed. Built collaboratively with people who participated in the local civil rights movement, The Trail They Blazed presents stories of social and racial justice straight from the people who lived them. Listen to leaders tell their stories of resistance and persistence in their own voices, recorded by the Historic New Orleans Collection. Plan your visit to 520 Royal Street in the French Quarter and reserve your free tickets at hnoc.org today.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning. Welcome back to the Good Morning Show. Eddie Francis in with Ro Brown. It is good to hang out with you.
Hello.
We got James on the line this morning. Good morning, James. How you doing?
James,
hello.
Are you there? James,
no,
going
James
once,
going twice.
Going twice.
All right,
James is gone.
All right, we're gonna throw your ticket away.
Call back.
Yeah. So, and the comments coming in on Facebook, a lot, pretty active this morning. Constance Craig Woods, thank you so much for the compliment this morning. Constance says she appreciates the energy in the room. Thank you. I appreciate being energized, even though I have not had my coffee. Man, I thought I was gonna have a rough time this morning. I really did. I was worried. I was worried on a couple of different levels.
Caffeine fit.
Yeah,
Caffeine fit.
Yeah.
Caffeine fit is on the way.
It's kicking in, kids. So there was something I wanted to. I wanted to bring up something. I want to go back to this article in Forbes about quiet leadership, and the article, says quiet leadership is a top-rated workplace skill of 2026. And it was something that I caught in here that I thought was pretty interesting. And part of what I caught, so I'll say this: if you are someone who is quiet and you are an introvert, you are cut out to be leadership material. I don't care what anybody tells you. You really are. So what research says about quiet leaders? The article says, although corporate stereotypes often favor extroverted traits in leadership, like assertiveness, research challenges that assumption. A foundational study in the Harvard Business Review found that introverted leaders can be 28% more productive than their extroverted counterparts. Additionally, Psychology Today reported that these leaders tend to empower others and encourage idea sharing without dominating discussions. Quiet leadership also aligns with research on emotional intelligence, a key predictor of leadership effectiveness. Leaders who excel at self-awareness and self-regulation tend to build stronger team cohesion and resilience. And so, doesn't this go back to what we were talking about a little while ago?
Mm-hmm.
There's something in leadership research that says that self-awareness is the leadership first commandment.
Okay.
And so that is extraordinarily important. But I think the self-regulation part, and the part that I also like about this, where it talks about quiet leadership and being 28% more productive, I think I understand why. Quiet leaders are very focused on the work that needs to be done, I think. And this is not to say that extroverted leaders are not, but extroverted people who are extroverts, I think, and I consider myself a mix of both, actually.
I'm an introvert.
I can see that.
I'm an introvert.
I can see that.
Yeah.
And I do think I lean a bit more introverted than extroverted, but I'm definitely a mix of both, definitely. But the thing that I see, and I think about the last time I led a team, and I decided that it was time for me to shut my mouth and get to work, is that I was much more focused on what had to be done rather than what had to be heard.
Okay. Much more focus on what had to be done.
I focus
rather
much
than what had. Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I focus a lot more on the work than I did on being heard. Because I did find that when I was busy trying to be heard, that's when I made mistakes.
A coach once told me that, the worst decisions I've ever made have been when I was emotional.
Yes, I agree with that. I agree with that.
Yeah. Yeah, this was a coach who was, kind of a cool kind of, you didn't see him jumping up and down, and screaming and carrying on and that sort of thing. And, I thought about that. I said, yeah.
It makes perfect sense. And I definitely agree with that. So, and you are more than welcome to jump into the conversation and let us know what you think. I mean, what have been your observations about people who you have seen who have been extroverted leaders and introverted leaders? And where's the value been? 504-582-9422, 504-582-9422. Eddie Francis with Ro Brown on the Good Morning Show on WBOK, what New Orleans is talking about.
WBOK New Orleans, home of the Good Morning Show, 7 to 9 a.m. weekdays.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Super Bowl 60 is set. The Patriots will face the Seattle Seahawks February 8th in Santa Clara, California. Here's New England's offensive tackle, Morgan Moses.
Man, I got in the locker room and I called my sons. They were crying on the phone. Man, everything that we put together in April, starting this thing, to be here right now, it's going to be a good one.
New England beat Denver in the AFC, while Seattle topped the Rams to reach the Super Bowl for the first time since Super Bowl 49. A Minnesota judge refused to sign a complaint against Don Lemon over a protest at a St. Paul, Minneapolis church. A source says Attorney General Pam Bondi was enraged, but the DOJ could still pursue charges. And former Michigan football coach Sharon Moore made another court appearance last week. As his criminal case continues, Moore faces charges tied to an alleged inappropriate relationship and was fired in December. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
And good morning. Welcome back to the Good Morning Show. It is hour number 2, 8:30. Coming up is Councilperson Leslie Harris from District D. She's going, District B, I should say. She is going to give us some information as the 2026 honorary co-chair and budget chair, the role that she has there. And so look forward to hearing from her, as we always do. And we do have an event going on tomorrow night, and it is a pretty important event. Hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to someone about this. But tomorrow is a candidate meet and greet. There's going to be a candidate meet and greet here in New Orleans tomorrow, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. When I say tomorrow, of course, I mean Thursday. And it is going to be a meet and greet with the candidates from the District 3 Senate race, District 97 state representative race, and District 100 state representative race. That is going to happen from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Household of Faith, 9300 I-10 Service Road in the East. Again, that is the candidate meet and greet for 3 state legislative races: District 3 State Senate, District 97 State Representative, District 100 State Representative, 6 to 8 p.m. This is your opportunity to go out and to engage with folks, to hear what folks have to say, and to decide for yourself who you believe the best leaders are going to be. And you get to decide for yourself whether or not someone's introverted style or extroverted style is going to work. I mean, I think in New Orleans, I think that's what we tend to think in New Orleans, is that if somebody's going to be a quality leader in New Orleans, they have got to be extroverted.
Colorful.
They have to be colorful.
Colorful, as they say, yeah.
But here's the problem. If that's all I got to be, cool. I'll put on my colorful mask, and I'll come sing and dance for you. I'll second line, do the alligator, whatever. I'll come do all that stuff. I will come
do the alligator.
I will come and I will be as colorful as you need me to be. I will go jump in the second line. I'll do all that stuff. I'll do selfies. I will do all that. But you didn't say that I had to know stuff. You just wanted me to be colorful because that's what we do in New Orleans.
Yeah. Yeah, we gauge people, the quality of people by, how much we like them or how much we connect with them or to them. And, if that's what you're looking for, then that's what you'll get. But vote, people.
Well, so, Ro, I remember once I was told, Eddie, the reason that you don't get the kinds of results you want to get from the work that you do in New Orleans is you never walk into a room and announce yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, why should I?
Yeah.
Well, because this is New Orleans. That's what we do. Yeah. We announce ourselves.
Yeah.
I said, but that doesn't mean I know what I'm talking about. But you got to get people's attention.
Yeah.
I said, but why do I have to fight for attention? And I'm not against it. But what I'm wondering is, are you telling me that the only way that I am going to get anything out of anybody is by walking in the room being the loudest person in the room, or at least trying to be the loudest person in the room?
Yeah, and I'm not loud.
And I'm not loud.
So, it's, I've said this before, but every news director that I worked for when I worked in television every day, at some point pulled me aside and said, you've got to put more stand-ups in your stories.
Okay.
And my reply was always, why? And, the story wasn't about me.
Right. Right.
You know.
So to the audience,
you know. So yeah. You
so
know.
for folks who don't understand, we say that when you say you have to put more stand-ups, what did the news director mean by that?
Well, you know, when you see a reporter doing a stand-up, doing a story, and within that story, you actually see that reporter's face.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, if I'm doing a story on the, let's say, Carr High School football team, you know, and I talk to the coach and I talk to a player, and then also you see me, you know, saying part of the story. You know, Carr is 14-0, and they won 2 straight state titles. You see me on camera doing that. That's a stand-up.
Okay.
And, you know, well, what? I mean, I can say the same thing even without you seeing my face, or I could give more time for that coach or that player to say something because they're what the story's about.
I was going to say, because your philosophy as a journalist is that you're doing the story about them. You're not doing
the story's
it about
not about me. And I've worked with reporters who have told me, who have said out loud, I have to find a way to incorporate myself in this story.
You're the one doing the story.
No, I've actually heard people say that.
Wait.
Okay, you know.
So they're doing the story, and they're not sure that they're incorporated enough into the story that they're doing?
No, I guess not for them.
Okay.
They weren't. No. You know, and it's the story is. I'm not doing a story on me. But you don't need to see me.
But that kind of proves the point of this article, because you have built a reputation, a very strong reputation in the city, as a dependable voice, as a trustworthy voice, especially in sports. And people want to hear what Ro Brown has to say about what's happening in sports, right?
Thank you. Yeah.
There have been a lot of folks who have come and gone in New Orleans in sports. Some have been very colorful, but you stand among those whose name has lasted because of the way you have reported. Like I have always appreciated the way you have reported, because to me, your reports have always been about what is happening, about the actual game, about what's going on. You didn't try to ESPN it at some point. You know, you remained Ro Brown, a sports journalist.
Yeah, I guess.
But people appreciate that.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that they appreciate it.
we got Chris on the line this morning. Good morning, Chris. How you doing?
Good morning. What's going on, fellas?
Good morning.
Much. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. Headed into work. I think we have a number of examples of, what quiet leadership can look like, and we have, I feel like, too many examples of what loud, boisterous leadership looks like, and what it has gotten us in the city of New Orleans in particular. Actually leaving a work situation right now where the change in leadership caused a rift because of the type of leadership. A lot of mouth, no action, versus, look, these are the tasks. Here's A, B, and C. This is what we got to get done. If you have any questions, see me later. And let's move on from there. I think even when looking at New Orleans East, right, in terms of what other council members have gotten done in their parts of the city versus what has gotten done in New Orleans East. Love OT, but we need more action. Way more action, and way more action amongst the council and the city and the people of New Orleans. We are accustomed to being entertained and not actually being worked, and we're not accustomed to having the work done for us and doing the work together. So I think the article trends in not just our city, in a number of places, and not just particular to Black folks. But if we're talking about the current demographic that we can speak closely to, look at the results across the city and see what gets done, see how the work that gets done in and around those cities get done by the community, the council, and then the city actually being forced in most instances to get the stuff done, get the permits approved, get those things that need to be done in action. Like, we need to be about action. And what I love about this generation of young folk that are coming up, they don't want to hear all the flim flam.
No, they don't. They don't. They really don't.
Man, look, dude, what we got to do? Okay, well then let's do that. Like, as an educator, right? I don't do a lot of standing up and talking. Look, these are your tasks. I'm gonna go over this in a number of ways. If you're having trouble understanding what I'm educating, then you see me one-on-one, and then we can develop a plan to get you to better understanding. But at the end of the day, you got stuff to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
I don't want to see you in my office on office hours. No, nope, unless you in dire straits.
Yes. Thank you, Chris. I really appreciate it. We got to go to commercial break, and I appreciate that call a whole lot. I'm going to put another question on the table for the audience. How can we have both? Because I don't think it's bad to be entertained, but how can we have both? 504-582-9422. 504-582-9422. We got the comments open on Facebook. We also have them open on YouTube. We got also the Good Morning Show on WBOK, what New Orleans is talking about.
This is your news update for WBOK from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
Good Wednesday morning. I'm Daryl Forges with WDSU News, and here's your headlines. After months of uncertainty, Mayor Helena Moreno says retention bonuses overdue to NOPD officers will go out on January 30th. They're expected to be authorized by the City Council during today's special meeting. The bonuses range from $1,000 to $30,000 depending on services details and are set to cost the city $11 million overall. They were promised to hundreds of officers back in 2022 under Mayor LaToya Cantrell's administration. Drivers in Mid-City are calling on city leaders to take action. They say a pothole located on Carrollton Avenue is causing problems and costing them money. Drivers say they have to consistently navigate around a dangerous pothole, and if they don't, their car either bounces from the big dip or the driver quickly swerves, causing chaos in the other lane. And in addition to their safety, neighbors are also concerned about the potential burden on their wallet. Officers and officials tell us Sewerage and Water Board are responsible for this project, and the water company says they intend to fill the hole by today and permanently pave it by the end of next week. And the Crew of Endymion, important note right here, is canceling its open house that was set for Saturday, but the parade and extravaganza is still scheduled to roll on Valentine's Day, Saturday, February 14th. I'm Daryl Forges, and that's your headlines for WBOK, and have a fantastic and wonderful day. Stay warm out there.
Hi, I'm Leo Jackson, host of Sunday Gospel here every Sunday morning, 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. and 12 o'clock till 2 p.m. You don't want to miss this move of God. It happens only on WBOK. You listen to all day long.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
And good morning. Welcome back to the Good Morning Show. Eddie Francis in with Ro Brown. We have a lot of activity again on Facebook. Alicia Plummer. Hey, good morning, Alicia. Always good to hear from you. Now, Alicia has a different view. She says, I love young people, but they've been deprived of the black education regarding our history, and they appear to not want to hear it. And so like any generation, you have those pockets. Because Gen X, I mean, we had our pockets. we definitely, Gen X, you know, my wife and I talk about this, how one of the issues with Gen X, black Gen X at least, was that we felt at one point, I think too many of us felt removed from the civil rights movement. And I think a lot of us got into this thing. I remember when the big thing for a lot of people was, I want to go to the best university in the country. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to any other university. And so there were some Gen Xers who were like, I'm not worried about HBCU. Nah. I'm going to the best of the best, right?
Yeah.
And now a lot of us are looking back and realizing that was a mistake. A lot of us are. And so you do have, but, you know, where my wife grew up in North Carolina, the attitude was, if you want to go to the best university, you do go to an HBCU. Now, the thing is where she and I see that there are some similarities is where we see some similarities is that there is somewhat of a I have arrived thing that started happening with Gen X because we started getting the houses and the cars and the families.
Yeah.
We got into the neighborhoods that our parents and our older brothers and sisters, whoever fought to get us into. We got into those neighborhoods.
Right.
And we thought we were cool. We thought everything was good. It was all quote unquote over. That's what a lot of us mistakenly thought. And then 2016 happens.
I've always said, and this might be oversimplification, but I just think that, we as a people lost certain things, and I think we lost the collective.
Absolutely.
We lost thinking in the collective.
Yeah.
Okay. We lost maybe our thirst for education in some ways, which is one of the reasons why I stopped covering sports and covered education the last 3 years. But anyway, that had something to do with that. But yeah, I think, we lost the collective. And as far as HBCUs are concerned, here's my fear, and you would know better than I, I'm just afraid that it feels to me sometimes people, when they say HBCU, okay, I'm HBCU, or I want to go to HBCU. I fear that what they're talking about and all that means to them are marching band, football, and step show.
So I will tell you.
You know what I'm saying?
This is so I have an irritation
that's what
with
it
this.
means to.
I have so I'll tell you why. I will tell you exactly why. Because that is the way HBCUs are being marketed nationally. Every football season.
But do you think that's good?
No.
Okay.
Because every football season, we go through this every friggin' football season. Every football season, every doggone commercial about HBCUs starts with a band.
Yeah.
And then you might see the Greeks, right? You might see the step shows and all this stuff. And it follows that. It is a good time, right?
Yeah.
And it's for the culture. But the thing that I've been asking is, what else can we show about HBCUs? What else can we do? Because this is not about, and the words culture and tradition keep popping up. Which, they're there. They're absolutely true.
It's part of it. It's part of it.
But it's like people are having trouble digging deeper.
Yeah.
And that was my big thing. So I'll tell you, I sometimes I'll jump into the HBCU chats on social media if I see something kind of interesting. And one of the things that I saw was the top HBCU homecomings. Well, every single top homecoming involved a football team. And you have folks who are just like, well, I mean, is it a homecoming if you can't have a tailgate and blah, blah, blah? And I'm going, well, yeah, Xavier has a fabulous homecoming.
Yeah, you can have a homecoming.
Have you been around Xavier's homecoming?
I mean,
can you find a place to park for Xavier's homecoming? Xavier doesn't have a football team.
Yeah.
But this is something that I agree with you on this. I mean, I think, and by the same token, this is where things go a little too far, and I kind of laugh about it. By the same token, when they want to show intellectual prowess with HBCUs, it's always some kid in a lab coat. And I'm like, okay, well, wait a minute. We can still. How is it that you have these universities? Like I know the guy who used to be the vice president of marketing communications at Purdue University.
Okay.
this guy, his name is Ethan, and Ethan Braden. Ethan was able to tell this brilliant story of what Purdue is, and there was so much texture to the story, and it did involve STEM, but it was deeper than STEM. It was a story of how Purdue University opens minds,
right?
And STEM was the vehicle for that.
Yeah.
And so my thing has always been, how do we tell that kind of story about what the mind-opening experience of an HBCU is? Because I love the football. I love the band.
Yeah,
football.
me too.
I love all
that's part of it.
I love it too, but that's not all. That's not all you got. That's just not all.
Yeah. So and that's good, and that's fine. But what's going on in HBCU classrooms?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, what's going on there? I mean, what's coming out of there? I mean, and maybe this is part of the collective, or lack of the collective.
Mm-hmm.
My sister was and this is 50 years ago. When she was at Southern, she was in a summer program at Columbia University.
Mm-hmm.
And, they were discussing something, and she's in a class with all these people who had Ivy League schools, and she and the instructor were the only people talking.
Interesting.
And the instructor stopped and said, is this young lady the only person here who knows what I'm talking about? And, she said, well, the stuff that he was telling her was stuff that her professor in the same, course, same courses that talked to her about when she was a freshman.
Yeah. Yeah.
She was a junior, and so, so, I mean, there's stuff going on in these classrooms. They were then, and I would assume they are now.
Yeah. And I think one of the strong suits, honestly, of HBCUs collectively are the social sciences. HBCUs produce fabulous people in criminal justice, sociology, which is extraordinarily important.
Yeah.
Social work,
Mm-hmm.
and people may kind of say, "Oh, social work, that." I mean, come on now. But social work is such an important field,
right?
And I think HBCUs excel at producing people in the social sciences. And so so Kemba, she decided to weigh in this morning. Kemba says Gen X boomers and the silent generation have been willing to listen to the millennials and beyond. Absolutely. Well, first of all, we better because they're up next. I mean, we don't have a choice, so we gotta listen to them. But yeah, absolutely, we've been willing to listen to them. I do think it's a mistake when people blow off younger generations. That is not a good idea. I'm kind of a fan of Gen Z. I really like Gen Z.
Okay.
I really like them. They have a lot of conviction.
What's Gen Z?
Gen Z, what are their birth years?
What's the years?
From the late 90s to like 2005, I think, is Gen Z.
Late 90s, okay.
I think it's right. My son is Gen Z. He was born in 2003.
Okay.
Gen Alpha, I think, starts at 2005 or 2006 or something like that, or 2007 maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, absolutely. We've been listening. We've been willing to listen to them because number one, you got to learn from them. You got to learn what are they consuming. You got to hear it. You got to understand it. But I do think this is huge. When I hear people say, "Oh, ain't nobody worried about that," and I'm just like, but it's a different generation.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember what the baby boomers said about Generation X. The way we even got Generation X is when people say it's like they said we were variable. Nobody knew what was going to happen with us, so we're the X variable. And I was like, hey, how you just going to assign a variable to us?
Well, the basketball coach Bobby Knight told me one time, talking about players.
First of all, before you even say this, I love the way Ro flexes on this. Okay, the basketball coach Bobby Knight, legendary Bobby Knight.
Yeah,
go ahead, go with it. Go, please.
And he said, "They all hear you. The trick is to get them to listen to you."
I agree. I agree.
He said, "You get them to listen, You know, you're at least 50% of the way there.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, okay, we got clarification on the birth years for Gen Z, 1997 to 2012. Thank you so much. Gen Alpha starts in 2013. And Generation Beta is beginning in 2025. Thank you so much, Kimber. Appreciate you. Cliff Dugar, appreciate you hanging out as well. All right, coming up next, we have a conversation with Council Member Leslie Harris, and that's coming up in just a few. Eddie Francis in for Ro Brown in for Will Sutton along with Ro Brown on the Good Morning Show on WBLK, what New Orleans is talking about.
This is your news update for WBOK from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
Still another cold day for us, but it's slightly warmer than where we have been. Highs today will reach 52 to 54 degrees, mostly sunny skies. And then for tonight, dropping down to 26 to 36 degrees, another round of potential frost for folks. And then as we get to Thursday, 58 to 60 degrees. So that warm up continues, but only for a little while. As we get to the weekend, highs for Saturday possibly only into the 30s.
To a darkened, sinful world comes redemption. Oh, what a gift of salvation. When Jesus returns, will he find faithers on earth? For the answer to this mind-boggling question, tune into FIJTC, Faithers in the Jesus Christ, every Sunday morning at 8:30 a.m. on WBOK. Follow us on Facebook at FIJTC Write-Ups and on Instagram at FIJTC 420s.
Tired of the impersonal, one-size-fit-all style of banking? You deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank Standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for businesses and families because we go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business, good for life. Stop by any New Orleans area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
This is Andronica Morris, host of Put Housing First. Join us every Tuesday at 12 o'clock where we will discuss how housing affects every aspect of our lives and what's necessary, what's needed to guarantee housing for all. Join us every Tuesday at 12 o'clock as we dig down deep onto the issues that affect all of us.
Meet Leanna, a part-time chef and full-time mom. In the past, Leanna didn't have health insurance because she didn't think she could afford it. What she didn't realize is she qualified for Medicaid. She loves the coverage and peace of mind that comes with high-quality care. The kind of care you get with Healthy Blue. This is Medicaid, and it's for more people than you think. Maybe even you. To see if you qualify, go to myhealthybluela.com.
My wife was frying okra. She's from Mississippi, so that's her favorite thing to do. She left the burner on high, and it didn't take long to ignite. So I ran to the stove, grabbed the pot, and that's when I got burned from a grease fire. And yes, the pain was, it was bad. Oh, Blue Cross treated me great with the recovery process. On the financial side, it would be expensive without Blue Cross. And that's what I was worrying about because I was out of work for 3 months. I'm Chad. I'm from Baton Rouge, and I had Blue Cross for 10 years. I don't eat fried okra. That's the funniest story.
Louisiana Blue. The right card, the right care.
New Orleans doesn't need on-the-job training. We need experience and results. John Johnson brings proven leadership and real accomplishments. He's helped secure funding for critical local projects, and he's worked directly on policies that strengthen public services and protected taxpayers.
I believe government should work for neighborhoods, families, and small businesses. That's what I've done, and that's what I'll do in the State Senate.
Experience matters. Leadership matters. John Johnson for State Senate.
Paid for by John Johnson for Senate.
Good morning, Wake Up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
back to the Good Morning Show. Eddie Francis in with Earl Brown. And joining us on the line, she is your council person, our council person, Leslie Harris from District B. How are you?
I'm great. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. So we have roles here. We have things happening, and there is this honorary chair role that you have of a budget committee. Now, when I was told here that you're the honorary chair, I was like, oh man, that's cool. Or somebody's homecoming? Like what? No, but seriously, Councilperson Harris, talk about what is new with the budget committee and your role as the honorary chair.
So I'm the actual chair, not honorary.
Not honorary.
Yeah, I'm looking at this honorary thing, and I'm like, what? I was like, okay, I didn't know they did honoraries for this sort of thing.
Yeah, no. It is an honor to serve as budget chair, but it is not
Thank
honorary.
you so much for clearing that up. I mean, I want to be honorary. Okay, go ahead.
So I was selected to be the budget chair. This is my second term on the New Orleans City Council. And, I worked at Loyola previous to this, and Loyola had a budget crisis very similar on a much lesser scale.
Oh, I remember.
To the city of New Orleans. Remember all that?
Yeah.
And,
first of all, you're on the line with, you have 3 Loyola alumni in here, so we remember this very well. But I'm sorry,
Right.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Right, but it is very similar, right? I mean,
Yeah.
we're talking about furloughs. We're talking about how we tighten belts. We're talking about how to look at the budget strategically. And so that's my role, is to make sure that there is a check and balance to what the new administration is doing.
And so when you take a look at the fiscal challenges, I mean, oh goodness, I mean, where do we start? How do you take that first bite out of this really big elephant?
Yeah, I think first is making sure that we're all on the same page as far as numbers. I think that's where it got messed up in the past. There was a lack of communication, even internally within the prior administration. So you heard testimony about how the finance director wasn't talking to the CAO, and then the CAO was providing information that was different to the budget committee of the city council. And so step one is making sure we're all operating from the same numbers, that we all have the same information, and that the public has the same information that's easily digestible.
And, I know that a lot of folks, when they think about what happened with the last administration and they think about the miscommunication, I know that a lot of citizens are just probably, I think the best word might be flummoxed to learn about that. What does it look like to tighten those lines of communication? Because I'm sure there are people who are saying, well, that's great that they're going to communicate. That's good to hear. But how do we know it's going to happen? So what does it actually look like for those lines of communication to be tightened?
Sure. So what it looks like for me on a daily basis is talking to former council member, now CAO Jeruso, his finance director, Alyssa Rambo, Brandy, who is the budget director, and making sure that, again, we are all working from the same numbers. I've also engaged our council staff, that we have a fiscal staff that is also checking the work that the administration is doing. And so I think that's where we all sit in a room, which we do almost on a daily basis, which we will do at 9 o'clock this morning, to make sure that we're working from the same set of numbers.
Councilwoman, hi, this is Ro Brown. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yesterday, you're looking at the news and you hear the word furlough.
Yeah.
And connected with the city council. What does that mean? Does that mean you all are not getting paid? You're not taking your pay? Are you getting paid certain days and not working some days when you won't get paid? What does that mean?
So for myself, it means that I will be working a day that I don't get paid. For my staff, that means that they will each take 1 day per pay period, and they are not paid on that day. And so that's what it looks like. For my office, we're going to have a rotating schedule. I think other council members can choose how they're going to take that 1 day, but I will be working that 1 day. I can't let my foot off the gas.
Mm-hmm. So it doesn't mean that, council people, because I mean, this is what Somebody asked me this yesterday, as a matter of fact. Does it mean you're not getting paid at all?
No, we still
Okay.
get paid, but we just get paid about 10% less than we normally would.
Mm-hmm. You haven't been chairman very long, but
3 weeks.
Yeah, 3 weeks. No, we don't. It hasn't been very long. But as far as finding more money, okay, the cuts are fine. Yeah, you need to do that. That's how you balance a budget, whatever. As far as finding revenue, what do you foresee there? What are some of the spots where you can do that?
Sure. So the administration is really tasked with finding revenue, but every single council member has asked, how can we raise more revenue? The administration has talked about parking enforcement. We have about $100 million worth of fines that are due because of parking tickets, actually going to try to collect some of that money, increasing parking enforcement around the city. But that's just one step. There's also the issue of the surplus cars that the city has and selling those off, as well as looking at some of the city-owned properties to figure out how we can monetize those, whether it's through renting them or selling them or increasing rents in some instances. But those are just, little measures. We really have to make sure that people understand that they need to pay their property tax bills. We need to make sure that we're a city that is welcoming to our tourists. That's really where our revenue comes from. And we need to be working with the state to make sure that there are areas where the state has taken money in the past that New Orleans can collect some of that money.
So, one of the things that I really think, this moment calls for is really having citizens feel a sense of confidence about what's happening going forward. So what is something that you are confident about? What is something that you are excited about going forward?
I'm excited about the collaboration with these teams, with the city council and the administration. I think that having worked with and sat next to Councilmember Giarrusso, we have a great relationship. I have a great relationship with Mayor Moreno. Her team is fantastic. Every single one of her directors I know and have worked with in the past, including our new city attorney, Charlene Gibson, who y'all should have on the show, who I came up with as a baby attorney. So, I'm excited about this administration. I think that we are all very focused on digging ourselves out of the hole that we find ourselves in, and it's not going to be easy. I mean, furloughs are not easy. Tightening our belts, not easy, as you know from Loyola, but it's something that we have to do.
Yeah. And what about the citizens? I mean, what would you, besides paying their bills, what would you ask of the citizens right now so that they can be engaged with the city council, with the mayor's office? What would you ask of the citizens start doing to be engaged with you?
Sure. Well, I mean, obviously you can come to any events. I know that there's an event happening in District B, and we'll get that information over to you, where the new department heads are going to introduce themselves. We will have town halls, so stay engaged there. But listen, it's little things like making sure that you're shopping local, that you're not buying everything from Amazon so that we can collect sales tax, going out to eat if you can, inviting people from out of town to stay with you so that we can have those tourism dollars come. Mardi Gras is coming, making sure that you're inviting friends and family from outer parishes into the city to enjoy our Mardi Gras. All of that will help increase revenue, and I think it brings a sense of excitement when we have folks come and enjoy our culture, our food, our music, and I think that's something that's an easy win that the citizens can do.
Okay, all right. Councilperson, are you open to taking phone calls this morning?
Sure. We do have a meeting in about 20 minutes, but I'm here.
I'm sorry, in how long?
20 minutes.
In 20? Yeah, no. Yeah, well, no. The call won't be that long at all. Okay, so we do have one caller on the line right now who has a question. Her name is Alicia. Good morning, Alicia. You're on with Councilperson Leslie Harris. What's your question?
Good morning, ma'am. How are you?
Good morning.
This is Alicia Plummer. I feel sorry for the employees. I worked for the city. I was a public health nurse in a well baby clinic for the city. And under Mayor Bartholomew, we suffered through a furlough. We had to give up a day every week. We went from 35 hours a week to 28 hours a week. We qualify for food stamps. And I really feel sorry for them. And it's unfortunate that they have to go through with this, but I'm asking anything that you all can do to make life easier for those employees who have to suffer through a furlough. Do that. Make it easy for them. That's all I wanted to say.
All right. Thank you, Alicia. Appreciate you calling.
Thank you, Alicia. And let me just clarify. The furloughs that the mayor is instituting are 1 day per pay period. So it's not 1 day a week. It's 1 day every 2 weeks, 22 days in total per year. But she's also scaled it so that if people are making under $40,000, they're exempt from furlough requirements. And then there's a scale. So rather than 22 days, it's 3 days if you make $39,000 through $40,000. And it goes from there. So anybody who's making, and I'm just looking at this piece of paper right now, anyone who's making $44,000 or less will be scaled in their furlough days, because we understand that someone who's making that amount of money relies on a paycheck and needs that day. And so I think that, to Ms. Alicia's point, making sure that folks who work for the city who make under $45,000 aren't as impacted by these furloughs.
So as we close out, what is something that you are looking to do next as far as the budget process is concerned? What do some of those next steps look like? And again, how would you like to see citizens play a part in this?
Sure. Part of what we need to do is, instead of getting a book of pages that, it's 300 pages of budget information, making sure that it's distilled into an executive summary, as I like to call it. What is the bottom line? What are the numbers that we're working from? If you look at what the Louisiana legislative auditor does and will present in this next meeting, it's very plain and simple. So having those simplistic numbers with the backup means that everybody, again, is on the same page, but that the public can also digest those numbers. And if they need to see the backup's there. But we just need to make sure that we have distilled information that's easily read and we're all on the same page. And so that's what I'm working with Council Member CAO Giarrusso right now on those simplified reports with backup.
And is there a place that people can get information about the latest that's happening with the city budgets?
So they're talking about putting a dashboard up, which I absolutely support, so that people can look at the numbers. We have budget meetings monthly with monthly budgetary reports. And then again, we have these special council meetings every week to look at payroll. And so if you want to tune into any of those meetings, you can go on our social media. We always announce when our next meetings are up, and you can look at them in real time. You can come down to City Hall, or you can watch them after the fact.
Okay. And for people who don't know, how can they follow you on social media?
Sure. It's all my handles are just Leslie Harris, and it's LESLIHARRIS on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I don't do Nextdoor.
Oh, come on. You don't do Nextdoor. Stop it. You got to get on Nextdoor. Nextdoor is where all the good stuff happens. This is where all the good stuff happens. This is where all of the good complaints happen.
Oh, no.
Well, listen, we know that you have a meeting to prepare for, and so we really appreciate the work that you're doing. And thank you for hanging out with us this morning. Thank you for visiting, and give us an update on what's happening with the Budget Committee. And make sure that you mention me, as I want to be an honorary chair.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Councilperson Harris. You have a great day.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. This is one of those times, and I know that we look at our elected officials, and we get really disappointed when they make decisions that we don't like for them to make, and we have a new administration.
Yeah.
And listen, I'm going to say this, and I know people are going to have something to say. At this point, it doesn't matter who you voted for. We got a new mayor.
Right.
Is full steam ahead.
Yep.
And right now, the order of the day is to do whatever we can to make sure that this administration is successful.
Yep.
Because if the administration isn't successful, we are going to have a hard time in this city, especially given the financial situation.
Right. I mean, if I was on the city council, this is the one committee I don't think I would want to be. I wouldn't want to be chairman of this committee.
No, that would, no, I would not want to be a chairman of this committee because I mean the thing is that there are so many hard decisions that have to be made.
Yeah.
I have worked in a situation, where the organization was in financial just dire straits, and the hard decisions that have to be made are just absolutely, it's horrible.
Yeah, well, she kind of indicated that, the whole council, makes the decisions, and, her committee, I got the feeling from her, I mean, I think she pretty much said that, the budget committee looks at what's there and tries to, get it in order and keep it in order and that sort of thing, whatever it is that's there. But the whole council, is entrusted with running the city's finances. And getting finances. And, that's so. And, like she said, I guess she said that it was a communication thing. I mean, not to go back, but, but you got to go back because, I mean, obviously it was, there was breakdown in communications somewheres, okay, not just one place, I guess. Yeah. For this to happen the way that it did.
Yeah, and that, it is. This is why I do the work I do. This is why I do strategic communications, because I have seen it for myself how communication can either be a bridge. The glue that really holds everything together and pushes everything forward, or the absence of it can be the source of the failure. And so you really hope that they are getting the lines of communication. And I will say this: it is. I'm not going to say easy, but this is a time. Every time you have a new administration of anything or a new executive board or something or whatever, every time you have that first year is when all the excitement happens, or at least those first 6 months is when you have all the excitement and all the moves are being made and all the pronouncements are being done and, and everybody and all the platitudes are happening.
Yeah.
But when the honeymoon is over, it is over.
It's over.
It is over. All right. So, listen, we're going to jump to commercial. We got one more segment of the Good Morning Show coming up. Eddie Francis in for Will Sutton. Ro Brown is hanging out. Jared, the producer, the super producer on WBOK, what New Orleans is talking about.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat, brought to you by FidelityWealthManagement.com. All-time tennis great Serena Williams is channeling her competitive spirit into investing. But this is nothing new for Williams. Williams tells Bloomberg that being a part of business and finance was something she's carried with her through her playing days on the tennis court.
It wasn't for me just about going out there and hitting tennis balls and winning. Obviously, that was the biggest part of it, but it was also really about being a business, being an entrepreneur. And at the time, when I was doing all this, there was lots of things and lots of people saying that you have to focus only on tennis, that you can't do other things, you can't have this other stuff, you can't be an entrepreneur, you can't think about other businesses, you really just have to do tennis. And I pushed that envelope and I said, you know what, that's not me.
Serena Williams speaking to Bloomberg at the American Business Forum in Miami recently. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
Hey, listen, are you a 50-year-old person looking for term life insurance? Then you need to talk to Bob.
Bob specializes in helping people find $1 million or more of term life insurance for a couple of $100 a month. Look, you need to know there's a price war in the term life insurance business, and you may be paying too much. Call Bob, and he'll shop and see how much money he can save you. Look, this could be the last term life insurance policy you ever have. Your rates are guaranteed for the next 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rates for the next 20 years. And if you're a smoker or your health is not perfect, Bob has great rates for you too. So for $1 million of term life insurance coverage for a couple of $100 a month, call Bob right now. 800-890-5075. 800-890-5075. 800-890-5075. That's 800-890-5075. Paid for by Term Direct.
Hey, this is Steve Poston. Be sure to listen to WBOK 1230 a.m. every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. and Sunday evening at 5 p.m. bringing you the best Southern Soul barroom music with the Southern Soul Weekend Party Mix, hosted by me, of course. I'll be playing your favorite Southern Soul music by artists from all over the South right here on WBOK 1230 AM or online at WBOK1230.com. The station you listen to longer. Listen to longer. Listen to longer.
Hi, I'm Imani Godin, founder of Godance. Godance is a nonprofit interdisciplinary dance organization rooted in New Orleans, providing access to dance education and sustainable, wellness-centered art practices. Right now, you can be a part of this work by participating in our Key to Your Heart house raffle. Our programs are open, inclusive, and community-centered, supporting artists, students, and creatives at every stage. Your involvement helps expand access, education, and opportunity for artists of all ages. To learn more and get involved, visit Godance, GAUDANSE.org.
Transform your bathroom with the beautiful quality of Bath Planet. As a trusted leader in bathroom renovation, Bath Planet has earned the Good Housekeeping seal, a symbol of quality and consumer confidence for over 100 years. Get half off installation or 18 months with no interest and no payments. Whether it's tub replacement, a shower replacement, or a tub-to-shower conversion, Bath Planet makes your custom bath fast, easy, and affordable. Here's how it works. 1. Call to schedule your free, no-obligation consultation. 2. Our design experts come to you with real samples to customize your dream bath. 3. Our certified installers complete the transformation in as little as 1 day. And right now, for a limited time, you can upgrade your bathroom for 50% off installation or choose 18 months with no interest and no payments. But you need to call now. This special offer is only available by calling 800-981-8177. That's 800-981-8177. Call 800-981-8177 right now before the offer ends.
The Ron Kelly Show. Real talk, bold truth. Tune in for your weekly dose of unapologetic conversations that don't dodge the truth or dilute the message. Stay informed on the issues that matter most on The Ron Kelly Show. Every Monday at 7 p.m. on WBOK 1230 a.m.
Good morning, Wake Up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
And good morning. Welcome back to the Good Morning Show. Eddie Francis along with Ro Brown. So, Ro.
Yo.
The Pels. The New Orleans Pelicans.
Who?
12-37.
Who?
Is it time to put our rally caps on? One of you.
Well, you know.
Well, you know what? They took one on the chin last night against Oklahoma.
Defending world champions.
Not so bad. They lost by 9. It could have been worse. Could have been raining.
Yeah, they had a little streak going. There, you know. So, they got a road trip going on, and like you said, they ran into the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah.
And defending world champions, and played them pretty well. You know, was pretty feisty. They had a couple, pushing and shoving matches, and talking smack and all that good stuff. But fell a little short, as they have most of the year.
Mm-hmm.
I hate to sound like a broken record, but just like the football team, they're rebuilding.
And that's the thing. I mean, when you have, I know people don't like the word rebuild.
Mm-hmm.
I know they don't.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you're talking about a coaching change that was made after the season started.
Yeah, well, they were rebuilding.
Yeah.
Before that too, but
okay, so this is just an outright rebuild.
Yeah, Yeah,
for all intents and purposes.
Yeah, rebill or bill, as some people may say a bill.
So do they hold on to the interim, give him a shot to get the coaching position permanently? Do they bring somebody in? What do you think?
I kind of think they're going to hang on to him.
Okay.
I think, James Borrego, I think they're going to hang on to him. Now, he's been a candidate for several head coaching jobs.
Mm-hmm.
He was a head coach at one point in Charlotte. And, I get the impression that they may hang on to him. I don't have any, inside information. I just kind of have that feeling.
Do you get the feeling that the team is gelling under him?
Well, they need more pieces. I'll say this much. I think they're playing better than they did. I think it helps that Zion is there.
Yeah.
Zion, they started off when he came back playing, minutes in like 25 to 30 minutes a game and everything, and coming off the bench. He didn't start. He started last night. He has been starting, and he's been healthy, and he's been very productive.
Yeah.
Last night, 21 points, 11 rebounds, and, block shot and 2 assists. And, he's been playing very well. And, but, he was the first player selected in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
So people look at him as a franchise player, that he should be the guy who's carrying the team. He might not ever be that. He might just be a really good player and even be an all-star, but not necessarily the best player on the team.
Can I be honest with you? I never thought that was realistic, honestly.
Yeah, okay.
I never did, because
legitimate.
He came out after 1 year, young. You could see the immaturity. Not. He's not a bad person, obviously, but what I'm saying is that you could see that he just had a lot to learn.
Yeah.
And the health issues and everything else.
And he's not a normal, physically he's not a normal basketball player.
Right.
And by that I mean as far as build is concerned.
No, he's a tight end, for goodness sakes.
And quickness. And he's real quick. He really is. He's real quick, and that muscular kind of build. You don't see that in a lot of basketball players. And I think that has something to do with his health problems. I think. I'm not a doctor, but I think that had something to do with it because of the kind of injuries that he had. But, he's somebody that I guess the way he's playing, you could get more for him now than you could have gotten for him like 2 months ago.
So that brings up real quick before we jump out of here.
I know.
Real
quick.
So
what do you do? I know what you're going to ask. Do you keep him? Do you try to
exactly?
That's the question. It depends on what you can get for him because they got other holes they got to fill. They got some nice young people, that they got in the draft, and Derek Queen.
Yeah.
And the guard.
A cliffhanger.
Fears.
Oh man, it's a Pelicans cliffhanger.
What?
Roll left us with a cliffhanger. Did not give us an answer about whether or not you deal Zion. Okay, all right. I see.
I don't know.
I see how you want to play this, Brown.
I don't know.
I see how you want to play it, Brown. I see how you want.
I'm up in the air about it.
I see how you do. I see how you do.
Do you
all
keep
right.
on saying you want to get rid of him? Huh?
Fine.
You want to get rid of him? Huh? That's what you want.
I'm asking an expert. That's what I'm doing.
I don't have an answer. I don't. I don't. I don't have an answer. I don't know what I would do right at this point.
Just leave the WBOK.
But if somebody
comes
to me with a bunch of, number one draft choices or something like that, well, I might,
All right. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of the Good Morning Show.
But he's playing pretty well right now.
As Ro Brown.
Been consistent.
As he
healthy.
As he keeps bringing us along right now. Thank you so much, Ro, for hanging out today.
Thank you for having me.
Jared, thank you so much, my brother. I appreciate you. And I will see you tomorrow for the Good Morning Show. Coming up next, The Front Porch. Bring something hot. Bye.